So on this week's podcast, we're doing the tail end of the Laughter, Humble Pie, and Lots of Sex series. And Nathan and I dove into the topic of boundaries and setting boundaries in your home. Because the number one thing that I get with feedback about what people are struggling with, it all has to do with setting boundaries. It's too much screen time, not enough time for anything, especially sexual intimacy. And all of these still go back to not just time management, but setting clear boundaries. Can you really say no to your kids and it's okay? They still love you, and it's not just an authoritarian approach either. Have you been able to communicate with them and really explain to them the why behind things? We live in a family that is not kid-centered, and that is something that we feel strongly is important. I love my children, and they are very much an important part of the family, and they all have a voice in the family. But the world does not revolve around them, and I would much rather them learn this example in our house in a safe and loving environment than for us to have everything catered to them the whole time that they live in our home, and then all of a sudden they go out in the world and realize they can't have everything on a silver platter. And so the way we start that is by setting clear boundaries and what is okay and what's not okay in our home, because everything that each kid does has a ripple effect that affects every other person in our household. And so we explain this at a very young age. And when we have a toddler that is screaming bloody murder, throwing a temper tantrum, we can say, man, express your feelings, express your emotions. But when you look around and you see other people going like this, it's affecting more than just you. It's not just you. You are strong, you are powerful, and you make an impact on this world. What kind of impact is it going to be? We work on this at bedtime, and we talked about this a lot on the podcast, so I hope you take a listen to that as well. We talk about how you lay down the law with communication, saying this is a time for my spouse and me to connect. This is not a time that is just focused on children. So create those focus times that you really do get to love on your kids. But know that your kids are not the center of the universe. They are a beautiful part of it. And how can you help them to best learn to work within that environment and not just dominate it? I'm interested to hear what your tips are, so please share them below. And I hope that you have a wonderful week. And remember, the uniqueness in each of us strengthens all of us. Namaste.